Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Bailey Pegasus Grande Turin. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So, starting off at the front, we have your black hitch head here and black lever that you have to have pulled up like so to then be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar. What that causes to do is push down that handle, push up that red button and expose a green ring. You then have a breakaway cable just here. Now legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. Caravan is fitted with 13 pin electric, so if you do have 7 pin make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Jockey wheel is mounted on the side, and when it's in travelling you will have to have the jockey wheel up and on the outside of the A-frame. Handbrake just here. To disengage, press in on the button on the top, press down, and to engage, pull it up. Now, because this is on a gas strut as well, just make sure that you do pull it all the way back. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. Now, the caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or alternatively, you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using test equipment today, so first up, plug in for the mains, nice and simple just there. You can get a Bailey specific mains lead. Gas bottle, I'm using propane. I'd always recommend propane over butane as it has better performance in winter. You have a black gas hose which connects on from the bottle to the regulator. Now what you'll want to do is hand tighten that as much as you can and then nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as that will put excessive pressure onto the actual O-ring that's inside the hose. Too much pressure can cause it to crack or break. Now black gas hoses will run for 5 years, orange will run for 10. Then once both sides are firmly connected, then twist on the gas. Round onto the other side. Starting off first, got an aqua full of clean drinking water just here and your water pump. Now your pump, to remove, press up on the cap and pull out like so. You have this white cap to go over the top of the aqua to ensure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. If it's not sat at the bottom, you may get airlocks. Then just here we have your flue. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. You then have 2 points where your wastewater from both your showers and your sinks will come from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. And lastly, we have your toilet function. So first up, got your flush tank. Opens up using your key. This has a capacity to feed in 12 litres of water. However, I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You can also add some pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell nicer. If you are using pink chemical, you need less than a capful per 10 litres, as too much, it is denser than the water, can clog your internals. Then we have your cassette toilets. Now to remove this, what you will have to do is press up on the orange handle, pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. What you'll want to do is twist this head to the side, open up that cap like so. Then at the same time, you need to tilt and vent. So, tilting and then continually pressing in here. Then my recommendation is to open up this capacity, add in some blue chemical and a bit of water, give it a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements of both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, twist the head to the side, and push it in so the orange handle sits behind those two white teeth. Then you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so you've got a little bung up here to drain off any remaining water from the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you will leave with it. Underneath your right hand side seat you have your boiler just here, and then you have this yellow drain valve. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, when you collect it, it will be in the upright position, which is drain mode. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and any time you come off site, give it a drain off as well. Underneath your left hand side seat, just at the front here, you have your two green boxes and also your point for your red key for your motor mover. You don't have to do anything with these, but if you ever need to do a reset, you can pull back on these panels. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. As well as that, you have your trips and fuses down here as well, next to the mover box. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position as well. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan. Main control panel. On and off button just here. Interior lights. And then you just have to use your residual switches across the place. Awning light. Press in. You can see awning light on just there. Water pump, press that in. Green light will show to show that the system is pulling through water and pressurizing it. The green light will come off when the system is pressurized and the boiler is full. I will show you the water being pulled through later on. Then battery symbol, press in. This shows the amount of charge in the leisure battery. However, I'm plugged into mains, so that's going to show what's coming from the mains at the moment. Then switch off all the other bits first before you go and switch off the main control panel bit first. As you can see here, nice clean continuous stream. This is what you're after pretty much. Now if there's any copper splutters, try and push through it, but if it continues to do so, double check your drain valve, your acroll, and that the pump is at the bottom of the barrel. But you're after this for around about 30 seconds. Now it's currently only on the cold just because I don't have the boiler warmed completely up, but you want to check on both cold and hot. So that's about 30 seconds. What you may see on this panel is that the green is back on, showing that water is coming back into the system and being pressurized. That will go off in a couple of seconds. However, to drain this off, first press in the pump, come over to the boiler, flick up the drain valve, and that will drop out the water from the boiler straight onto the floor. And what I would also recommend is to open up the taps that you have used just to get out any residual water. Now, when you do come to use the pump, it is recommended to pull from the furthest place first. So in this case, it would be your bathroom shower. Pull through there just so the water can come through everywhere. And if you're wanting to use water from all the sources, just double check that the water's coming through fine on all of them. Then here we have your Turin control panel. You've got this dial, which is also a select button and a back button. To turn this panel on, press and hold in. It will display the time, and it shows that mains is plugged in. And then I can press it again and come to this screen. So first up, I have the motorhome with the thermometer in, because they use this panel as well for motorhomes. This is for the internal temperature, goes up to a maximum of 30. You'll also see on the top, previous selections come up, and that flame comes up to show that the heating is on. Next to that, we have the water temperature. So it's either off, eco, which will get the water temperature to around about 40, 50 degrees. Hot, which gets it to about 60. And boost. Now what boost does, it prioritizes heating the water over heating the actual caravan. After those 30 minutes, it will then drop itself back down to eco. As I've not selected in, it's not come up on the top bar. Next to that, we have energy source. So you've either got gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatts. So you've got the choice of either gas, mains, or both. And then lastly, on the top row, we have fan speed. So it's either eco or high. Eco is nice and steady, high is a lot more vigorous. Now, if you do not have the heating on, there we go, and then we go back over to the fan, it is going to be, in this case, off or vent. Now what vent does, it circulates the air that's already in the caravan. So what you can do, it's just going to push out normal air. You can open up all your windows and bring in some fresh air. Then we're on to the bottom row now. So this one is for a timer. This is for selecting when you'd like the heating and hot water to be on. So first input the start time with hours then minute, and then the finish time with hours then minute. You have the time, which again hours then minutes, it's a 24-hour clock, and additional settings. So offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, index or reset. I'm not going to go through that as we have set this to what we believe the most user-friendly panel to use. However, if you'd like to change anything, please have a look across your book packs. Now naturally this screen is going to fade to green when it's not interacted with. It will still display the text, it will just be green. However, when you want this completely off, press and hold in, it will flash up, then it will turn itself off. Then just here we have your hob, grill and oven. Now all of this operates on gas, minus the electric plate. Electric plate just spin to whatever mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else works standard to any sort of gas cooker that you may have at home. Press in the dial, twist it to the side and press in on your igniter. Now it may be a case these will take a little while to light up, or they may light up and then cut out. That is completely natural. That is the gas making its way through the system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, hob, grill and oven all nice and on. Main things to note, make sure this tray isn't in the way of the igniter, as it may be a case that it will catch and it's not able to ignite the flame. If you're traveling with a gas bottle, make sure the bottle is turned off, and you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all burners are cold to the touch. Just here we have your Dometic fridge operation. Now the fridge itself you can open up from either side. However, if you do want to open up from one side and then go to the other side, you have to make sure that it's completely in. And what you may have to do is open it up a little bit on the side and then push in. Now to turn this on, what you do is press and hold this in. This is a button and a dial, similar to your Turin panel. And then you've got your selections. So press in once, and this is for the amount of power that you'd like inside the fridge. So let's go on to this. So 1, 2, oh, should probably show it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Then to select, press in. Then let's change source now. So we've got auto, 13-pin electric, gas or mains. Now whatever is blue is what's currently selected, and whatever I have as the border is what I can choose to select. So let's select auto, and auto selects mains. Now the other thing is gas. If I select gas, you may gradually hear it tick in, but you don't have to do anything, you don't have to ignite anything, it will ignite itself. I just recommend running through your hob, grill and oven first. But for now, let's just go back to auto. Auto chooses the best source to use. As well, 13-pin electric only whilst towing. Okay, so auto has chose mains. And then the last one is some additional settings. So, screen brightness, full and lowest. Key beep, so when you press something in it will beep. Ventilation. And fast freeze. Fast freeze is obviously going to prioritise the freezer over the fridge. Okay, when the fridge is on, lights are on. When the fridge is off, no lights inside. These do take around 4 hours to fully chill, so you can either chill the night before or chill whilst towing. Toilet operation, bog simple. Lift the lid, press in the button, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push through any water across the system. And then to remove your waste, press away on the handle, opens up the catch and pull it back towards you to be able to shut it up so you can actually remove the cassette. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty.